From the St. Louis Public Radio newsroom, this is The Gateway. It's Wednesday, December 18th. I'm Jonathan Ahl. St. Louis native Eric von Schrader set his science fiction trilogy in an alternate version of St. Louis, taking real bits of local history and giving them a cosmic twist.
They figured out how to generate electricity with bricks. So in this alternate world, this brick energy technology powers the world.
St. Louis Public Radio's Jeremy Goodwin explores this fictional world with its author. That's coming up on The Gateway. St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones is requesting the FBI and state auditor to investigate the city building division after allegations of corruption against two inspectors. A spokesperson for Jones says she's also instructed the Department of Public Safety to open an investigation into the matter. One inspector resigned, but the investigation is still ongoing. A second inspector was placed on leave pending the investigation. It comes after St. Louis Magazine reported that building division inspectors had ties to contracts involving family. St. Louis public school families will have to notify the district that their student will be returning to school in the fall, according to a new district policy. St. Louis Public Radio's Hiba Ahmed reports.
Starting January 21st, families will have to register their children with the district, even if their student is currently enrolled at an SLPS school. District officials say this will give them a better head count and help streamline bus routes to prevent transportation shortages next school year. SLPS spokesperson Carl Mitchell says parents can register online or in person at their student's school.
Every SLPS family will need to register. An example I shared, if you're a Gateway Elementary third grader, and you're going to Gateway Elementary for fourth grade, you will need to register for fourth grade as opposed to us just assuming that you're coming.
The district has also hired Casey Davis as its new transportation director. He most recently served as director of transportation for Pflugerville Independent School District in Texas. I'm Hiba Ahmed, St. Louis Public Radio.
Missouri's director of the Department of Social Services is leaving his post in January. Robert Nodell will step down as director to become city manager of his hometown of Poplar Bluff. He managed a state agency overseeing child abuse investigations, Medicaid, and assistance to needy families. Nodell had to deal with staffing shortages at his agency and said often that higher pay was needed to keep employees from leaving for other jobs. He also dealt with challenges with the Medicaid application process and the foster care system. Governor-elect Mike Kehoe will choose Nodell's successor as DSS director. Syrians in St. Louis are celebrating last week's collapse of the Assad regime. St. Louis Public Radio's Aula Kuziz reports from a celebration in Chesterfield.
Nearly everyone who came to Sunday's celebration had a story of grief and tragedy because of the Assad family's brutal rule. But at the event, people waved the revolutionary flag and sang songs of hope to mark a new beginning.
We have this renewed sense of hope that our memories are not going to be just about like the trauma of what our families have been through, but also the celebration of our culture and our traditions there.
That's Summer El-Barsha, a Syrian-American who hopes to visit the country soon with her young daughter. While Syria's future remains uncertain, El-Barsha and other Syrians in St. Louis say they are overjoyed and want to help rebuild their country. I'm Aula Kuziz, St. Louis Public Radio.
Longtime women's soccer star and Olivet native Becky Sauerbrunn announced her retirement yesterday. Sauerbrunn made her first appearance with the U.S. national team in 2008 and was part of teams that won the 2012 Olympic gold medal and 2 Women's World Cups. Speaking on the Women's Game podcast, Sauerbrunn says she was able to go out on her terms.
It was such a good year. You know, I got to start the year hosting a trophy with the U.S. women's national team with the W Gold Cup. And then I got a full season where I just got to battle with Portland.
Sauerbrunn's Portland Thorns lost in the NWSL quarterfinals to Gotham FC last month. The 39-year-old center back made more than 200 appearances with the U.S. women's national team. 2 hip-hop luminaries say they're creating a music festival to honor their St. Louis roots. Nelly and Metro Boomin say the new Smokin' Hayride Festival will happen sometime in 2025. It will feature artists playing various styles of music. Nelly and Metro Boomin announced their plans on Sunday at Nelly's annual Black and White Ball held at the Four Seasons Hotel in St. Louis. The future of the Repertory Theater of St. Louis was in doubt a year ago amid an emergency fundraising campaign. The theater's leaders say its future is brighter today. A benefit event netted more than $300,000, twice what the theater earned from a similar performance last fall. The Rep also has 300 new subscribers, and its holiday show is its second best-selling show ever. Managing Director Danny Williams says the Rep has proved something to its supporters.
For the folks who are on the fence about will the Rep make it, I think that this past year we have shown that the Rep is working hard and is getting to a place that I think everyone should be really proud of.
The Rep will announce its next season in the coming months. St. Louis-raised author Eric von Schrader was inspired by local history to write The Intersecting Worlds trilogy, 3 novels that detail a version of St. Louis located in a parallel dimension. The book's main characters travel between real-life St. Louis and the alternate version, which is teeming with tourists, lined by gleaming skyscrapers, and powered with sustainable energy. St. Louis Public Radio's Jeremy Goodwin asked von Schrader which elements of his native city inspired his alternate version.
I've always been fascinated by the history, in some ways the disappointments of St. Louis, and the faded glory of many parts of St. Louis. I've always thought it was sort of a fascinating story.
There's a specific spot where your protagonist discovers a portal into the parallel universe, right? Grand and Gravois. Why did you pick that?
Yes. It's 2 streets crossing, and if you go either direction up Gravois or a little bit on Grand down, the whole area is kind of forgotten. And it's like, this should be an intersection of amazing boulevards in a city. So it just came to me that, I think that's where he's going to find his way into this other universe.
Well, readers get taken to an alternate St. Louis that you call HD St. Louis, like high definition St. Louis. Is HD St. Louis your picture of what you'd like the city to be?
In a lot of ways, yes. It gave me a vehicle to imagine what would the coolest possible St. Louis look like, and how would that work? What if people from around the world clamored to come to St. Louis because of the amazing festivals and events that are happening all the time? Things like that are what's there. When it's hot in the St. Louis summer, people turn their air conditioners on and stay inside and watch TV. And they're not out mingling and involved with each other. So I turned that around and made it where, in this place, people are always out mingling and involved with each other, and spontaneous things happen. And from the viewpoint of my main character who discovers this place, blows his mind.
And another way that you tap into the real-life history of St. Louis is you got to talk about bricks somehow, right? Bricks have to be in there somewhere, and that's actually a big piece of what makes the alternate St. Louis run, right?
Yes, in my alternate St. Louis, a St. Louis brick company that was actually a real company called Hydraulic Bricks, which was begun in the 19th century. In my fantasy, Hydraulic Brick Corporation is one of the major corporations, biggest companies in the world. And how do they get to be that way? They discovered a technology where they figured out how to generate electricity with bricks. So in this alternate world, this brick energy technology powers the world. And then later I found out that actually there's real research, doing some things kind of similar to that. So that blew my mind. And some of that work was being done at Washington University. I did not know that when I wrote the book.
You don't have a crystal ball, but are there pieces of HD St. Louis that you think our world might head towards?
Wow. I'm hopeful that if St. Louis isn't so negative about itself, it could become more of a magnet for younger people who are creative or to start businesses, do bands and music and culture. I think there's an opportunity for that.
That was author Eric von Schrader speaking with St. Louis Public Radio's Jeremy Goodwin. Our Jessica Rogan edited that report. The Gateway is a production of St. Louis Public Radio, a member-supported service of the University of Missouri, St. Louis. Music by Ryan McNeely of Adult Fur. I'm Jonathan Ahl, and from the St. Louis Public Radio newsroom, this has been The Gateway.